What's up, Heal You family? Your girl Shai here, and I'm dropping in this month with a special bonus segment or segments. Why? Because May is Behçet's Awareness Month. And I try every year around this time to assist in raising awareness. And I wanted to be more intentional about sharing this year and educating on my life with Behçet's disease. Because guess what? This is a part of my everyday life. It is a part of my healing. It is a part of my wellness. And too many times people out there feel alone when they're diagnosed with autoimmune and other rare diseases that attack their entire life and they don't know what to do or who to turn with. So I hope that this is beneficial to you or any family member. Please, 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 please consider like and sharing it so we assist in raising awareness for all of us that are looking for a cure. All right. So Behçet's disease, B-E-H-C-E with the little squiggly line above the E, T''S. If you've never heard of Behçet's, guess what? You're not alone. Most people haven't. It's rare and often misunderstood, even by the medical community. Behçet's is an invisible illness that affects the entire body. Basically, the immune system gets confused and starts attacking healthy blood vessels. I'm going to pause right there. Healthy blood vessels. So when you think about Behçet's, think about blood flowing through your entire body. You have blood vessels flowing through your entire body. So that means Behçet's has the potential to attack you throughout your entire bodies. And that means symptoms can show up in all kinds of ways. Painful mouth sores, swollen joints, blurry vision, skin rashes, and even issues with the brain and nervous system, just to name a few. Sounds pretty wild, right? And trust me, living with it and understanding it for anyone who has Behçet's disease or any other autoimmune or rare illness is quite a journey. You know, I remember when I first heard the name Behçet's. Behçet's. I had been dealing with strange symptoms, chronic pain, fatigue, and random inflammation for years. Before I ever knew it was Behçet's, doctors had diagnosed me with Crohn's disease. But that diagnosis didn't help me. I was constantly sick from all the medications they had me on, nauseated, exhausted. I could rarely eat and still in pain. The sores in my mouth, the sores in my nose, everything that was going on with me during that time while raising a child, it's pretty scary. I knew deep down inside that something wasn't right, and I needed to keep pushing. I needed to keep asking questions. You know, I kept pushing back, telling my doctors that this wasn't just stress. It didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. And finally, running across a doctor who gave me the correct diagnosis was both a relief and a burden. Finally, someone gave my pain a name. But that name with no cure, just a complicated path of trial and error treatment. And to make things harder for me, most doctors had never seen a case like mine or anyone else who had been diagnosed with Behçet's disease. Usually, each and every time I go to a new doctor, I'm their first Behçet's patient. And guess what happens? I spend a lot of time helping them understand how this disease works. Crazy. And to be honest, I haven't always been this open. I was diagnosed officially in 2004, but didn't start taking my treatment seriously until 2009. For a long time, I was in denial. I was scared. I didn't understand what to do. I didn't take my meds, and I didn't focus on learning what my body needed. Relationships were hard. My family understanding and being there for me was hard. For a lot of my relationships, my illness was too much. It was scary to them. Don't even think about me. It was scary to them. And guess what? I chose not to talk about it. I attempted in every way, shape, and form to act as if I was normal, just to keep the peace. That didn't help me at all. And eventually something shifted when I shared with my babe in 2008 why I was always so tired and needed rest, and that I didn't take my meds like I was supposed to, and that I didn't really understand what I could do to help me feel better. And his words to me was, how can you not take your meds when they're there to help you feel better? And that hit me hard. Gradually, from that moment on, things began to change. I started listening to my doctors a little bit, looking for support groups to help me understand Behçet's. There's an entire community out there. And working slowly to take better care of myself. Slowly. Because friends, Behçet's got worse before it got better for me. Over the years, I became sicker. I dealt with bouts of memory loss, weak legs, vision problems, constant exhaustion, and sores all over my body. There was a period where I could barely walk or lift anything. No more than 20 pounds. Usually it was less than that. I would go to the grocery store and had to make sure someone was home to go ahead and carry the groceries in the house for me. When my grandson was born in 2018, I could only hold him if I was sitting in a chair and someone put him in my lap. It's pretty scary. And while I was suffering, I kept most of it to myself. Even now, my friends and family still don't know everything. Mostly because I've always had a hard time sharing just how much I go through. I want to appear as though I'm strong. I got it together. I don't want to bother them or scare them more than anything. For years, I learned how to smile through the pain, to hide my symptoms so I don't make others uncomfortable. But behind the scenes, friends, Behçet's impacts everything I do. My work, my relationships, how I move through the world. Today, though, I'm learning, not there yet, I'm learning to be more open, not just for me, but to help others understand what invisible illnesses really look like. You know, if I go a little bit more into my chronological journey, diagnosed in 2004, 2009 began to really take my meds and learn more about the illness, learn how to support myself. By 2015, the meds I was on weren't working. My eyes became the main target of Behçet's at that time. I was using steroid drops and high doses of prednisone that were damaging my vision. That's when my doctor sat me down and told me that I needed to do something more serious. I had said no to this a couple of times when he presented it to me. But this time he told me if I didn't, I had the potential of going blind. That was a reality check. He wanted me to start chemotherapy. He recommended a biologic infusion called Remicade. So it's a little different than what others hear when they hear chemotherapy. Remicade is a biologic that helps calm the immune system and control inflammation. You know, autoimmune diseases are different. They attack your body. They force the functions of your organs to become overactive, and then the organs start attacking themselves. That's all the pain and stuff that's going on. And Remicade is used to kind of help. It's one of the treatments that really kept me going. I started late 2015, 2016, and to this day, every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how I'm doing and what's going on, I go in for my regular infusion. It's there to help slow the body down and help you feel as though you're living a somewhat normal life. And no, it doesn't cure Behçet's because there isn't a cure. But it helps me live, really live, and not just survive. That was 2015. Started Remicade, started going through the process. My eyes became better, more manageable, still there, some symptoms. And then my back and legs was the next target. They started to get worse and worse. And in 2020, right before the world shut down for COVID, my doctor at the time said I needed to start physical activity to help slow down the effects of osteoporosis. And for those of you who don't understand osteoporosis, it's when your bones become weak. The medicine that they usually have for you to take, I'm allergic to. So you see people who get shorter and shorter over time. Some of that is known as osteoporosis. And guess who was granted the ability to be dealing with osteoporosis? But I was not going to lose at this. I was stronger mentally. I know how much I've overcome. She recommended that I start exploring fitness and wellness in more of an intentional way. And that's what I did. I began weight training and physical training to help me understand how I could strengthen and build my body a little more. And you know, most days I'm thriving. Some days the pain gets the best of me. But let me be very clear, friends. This diagnosis didn't and will never break me. If anything, it's taught me how to live more purposefully. It's why Heal You exists. It's why I'm so passionate about self-care. Because I've had to literally fight for mine. And throughout this month, I'll be sharing more of my story, what Behçet has taught me, how it's shaped my journey as a mother, as a friend, and the ways I've learned to communicate better in my relationships. I'll share what it's like parenting through pain without scaring my child or attempting not to scare my child, and how I've built and continue to build a life filled with joy, love, laughter, and yes, plenty of hard moments too. I want to show you, friends, the real, raw, and empowering side of living with a chronic illness. Because despite everything, I am still standing. I'm still smiling. I'm still healing. And I'm still showing up each and every day. And I invite you, friends, if you or someone you love is living with a chronic or invisible illness, this month is for you too. We are not alone. We deserve support, answers, and to feel seen and understood. That's the purpose of this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always holding space with me. We're on this journey together, and we're not backing down. Life is here to be lived, and I will be the first to tell you that I am going to live it to the fullest. So let's keep walking this road. Let's keep walking this journey. Let's keep talking about the hard stuff. Let's keep healing out loud. Until next time, until the next segment, keep healing, keep growing, and most importantly, keep showing up for you, those you love, and supporting people along the way. Talk to you soon.